And there we go. Silently show off things like my Doctor Who glass.
Oh, there it is.
One of these days we'll find a better way of starting these things out. I feel like it's just a giant guess until we know for a fact that we're in. Like it says we're doing stuff, but like basically just have to wait until somebody says something on the bottom.
Pretty much.
Last time was awkward. And the worst part too is like when you go to put it on YouTube, you have to wait for it to process before you can edit out the beginning or the end. So for like a day and a half, I wasn't allowed to process it, but the video was live, so it was like a minute and a half of us just fucking around, not knowing what the hell we were doing. It was like, whoops, sorry guys, didn't know that was going on. We're still let's see. No drop frame, we're still in there. So it's a matter of how long our lag is, I think. I don't know. We're unwired, so it's should be all good. I can make sure. All right, here we go. Swap these. Phone stays invisible. My glass. Stay visible. It's kind of out of focus. I don't actually know how to. I don't know if there's any way to focus that up. Also, we look like ghosts.
Just haven't been getting outside much.
I know, right? You know, I mean, we need like a dimmer for that fucking thing. Is what it comes down to. My phone did a thing, and I don't know what it just was.
What do we want to talk about?
Nothing. Can I make it bigger?
Maybe 9.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just a little everything.
Do not.
No. Secrets. So are we in? I can never tell. We have one viewer, I think. I don't know if that just means that someone's in the YouTube thing or not. It's hard to say.
I'm sipping on mystery drink right now because I have it hidden. Nobody knows.
I'm drinking directly. Turn it this way. Looks like I'm dipping my nose back of the head of silence. Smells silent.
It can be like kind of normal.
Yeah. Oh damn!
Oh,
I didn't even know you were wearing the bandana. Oh, tying it all together. Okay. I guess we'll chill till. I guess we'll just chill till someone shows up. Chat. I hope chat disconnected from. That'll be the real embarrassing thing. If it's running and we can't see it, people are talking at us.
You fucking idiot! You're the worst.
It's entirely possible though, which is why I'm now gonna look on it on my phone.
My eyes are super tired.
The rest of you isn't though?
No, my eyes are tired.
Oh, we are. It does appear that we're live.
Oh,
that's awkward.
Oh, no.
But I can't tell like our chat is like not.
Somebody fucking say something.
Up to date. Why isn't it doing it?
Somebody fucking say something.
I don't know, man. Can we? Oh, it's doing a thing. I'll reload it. Just reloading. Watch that just break everything. Oh.
No.
It's been the most embarrassing like stream ever. Just like
our worst stream yet.
Right. We'll just chill out for a minute. I'm sure I'll cut this out. Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, you know why? It's probably space echoey because of.
Hey guys.
Let's see. Space audio. I'm trying to think of why it would be. Maybe. All right, I'm gonna test something out here. Let's get rid of that. Maybe that'll fix it.
Hopefully.
And now it's half gray.
Oh, I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know what that's all about. We didn't touch anything on the color.
Half gray, like this half?
No, like this half.
Like
that's just his mood, guys. Don't make fun of him. That's not cool. We'll probably jump in 1 second. I also want to make sure that I'm not that asshole who suddenly moved this from 8 o'clock if I said in the Patreon it was going to be at 8 o'clock. That will be embarrassing.
I mean, we could just like not talk about anything until
for an hour.
Yeah.
Just
well, it's only like a half hour now.
About 40 minutes.
Audio's fixed.
Yes, I knew it.
Thanks,
all right,
bro.
Cool. Awesome. Hopefully, if we're blowing out your eardrums, say something, please, because it'll sound pretty bad later. Pretty bad. Okay. Almost got the fucking thing pulled up. Come on, motherfucker. No, I want to see my posts.
Yeah, I want to see your posts too.
Patreon said 7. Okay, good. So everyone's just busy on a Wednesday night. We gotta start doing this on weekends, I think. Maybe that's a better call.
Yeah, we could do it on Saturdays.
Saturdays are generally fun. Not this Saturday, unfortunately.
What's this Saturday?
Should we do the next one? Should January on this Saturday?
What's this Saturday?
This Saturday is the 9th.
No, why can't we do it?
Oh, I'm at work all day and then a party all night.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess we should.
I guess we just start, right? All right, cool. So other folks will jump in, I hope. Part of me almost wants to just open it up just to get folks in, but, we'll see how the first couple minutes go. If people are... It sounded like a lot of people were going to be, listening and not able to chat along with, so maybe that's more the thing. It's more of a podcast mode tonight. That's okay.
It's not okay. You should... Don't, you know what? Don't even fucking come to the Hangout if you're not going to talk. Just don't even...
May not be quiet.
I'm fucking done.
No.
I'm fucking...
Pretty comfortable. Also, weekends at work. All right, that's fair. I mean, I think at one point we had asked about weekends, and people were just sort of saying that people usually have plans on weekends, and it's more unpredictable, whereas weeknights, it's a little easier to have figured out, and Wednesday nights have sort of been a comfortable night for us as well.
Yeah, it's my only day off. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's pretty comfortable meeting the audio levels. The weekends are still worse. Oh, God.
Don't worry, man. We're just going to talk directly to you.
Yeah, just to you. Oh, good Lord. John's not with us right now. He might be joining us later. He got held up at work.
He's a butt.
So, you know what, Steve? If you want, feel free to throw the link to folks. You have paid us good money to be here. I'll leave you with it. You're the only one here within the first half hour and talking, so I'm leaving it up to you. If you want to disperse the link around, then by all means go for it. We'll be happy to entertain whoevs. You can throw it on Twitter. You can throw whatever you want.
You can
it's
even
fine.
Charge people for it if you want.
I mean, we can't stop you.
Right.
So I mean, it's you can, but it's not as cool. I guess I don't really know. All right, I guess let's just kind of get started. People will watch it later on if they got to watch it later on, or the folks who are listening can listen.
Yeah, and listen intently,
emote
and
internally.
With purpose.
So
we have a lot of.
How do you listen with purpose? What does that mean?
Like purposefully listening. Like I'm.
Well, yeah, that's a different way of ordering the words, but
I'm very specifically listening to hear certain things.
Okay, what would you listen for if you feel like people should be listening with purpose?
Important topics.
Okay.
Farts.
I can't promise that there's going to be farts.
The rushing and babbling of a fast stream.
Are we a fast stream? We're moving. I mean, we're doing what? 5,500 kbips. I think that's a pretty fast stream. And we do babble. Judging just, by the fact that we haven't actually said anything important yet at all for about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's got to be a new record for us.
Well, it's like 10 minutes of not even knowing if we were on.
That's fair. So I guess we'll start from the top, right? Mega Man is kind of our big thing.
As always, Rick will lead us through this.
We'll kind of walk through there. Actually, before we even get to Mega Man, we just got to play our second Steam game for I'm still calling it Full Steam Ahead, even if it's not really the show proper that we had come up with forever ago. But we just recorded our second Steam thing, and that should be going up sometime soon. I'm shooting for Saturday. It's gonna depend how the rest of this week goes. I'm pulling a double shift tomorrow.
Wednesday then.
Yeah, of May.
The Wednesday in May.
Yes, the only one there is. But yeah, no, it's an RPG. It's like a Flash style RPG that you might expect to find online.
Do you see the name of it?
Yeah, sure. Lethal War RPG. No, Lethal RPG War. Damn it! I said it again. I keep doing that. Lethal RPG War.
It's a war of the lethal RPGs.
Yes, a war between lethal RPGs.
There are other non-lethal RPGs, but
they're not in the war.
Has nothing to do with.
Yeah, they're not in that war. Pokemon traditionally is not a lethal RPG, so Pokemon is not
except for when we play it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even then, Insurgents brings them all back to life if you lose the Nuzlocke.
Okay, so the best way to get your Pokemon back is to kill all of them.
Yeah. Yes. At this point, killing the Pokemon I have would give me back more Pokemon than I would lose from killing them from here on out.
By a lot.
By a big Mario, by like a double margin of that.
And the more that you play the game, the more true and effective that is.
Yeah, that's true. Never heard of it. It was made by iSpida Games and published by Black Shell Media.
It's a Benjamin Webb game.
Thank you. I was trying to remember the last name. I was like, it's a Benjamin something game.
The first name's easy.
$5 on Steam. It'll be up in a couple days. You guys will be able to check it out and see what's there.
Just watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You'll see how we feel about it.
Just watch it.
Yeah. Mega Man. Mega Man is going pretty well. We finally got out of the holiday season, which was a weirdly tight spot
Retro
for
Trigger,
us.
what's up?
Hey, Retro Trigger. How you doing, buddy?
We were just talking about you.
We got to keep remembering that we don't. If we look at the chat, we look looking down.
I'm like,
oh, actually, I mean, it looks like we're looking at the chat when we. You kind of like I have to kind of look at that corner, and you have to look at this corner. So we just kind of like cross like. For shame.
I'm just gonna look at the camera.
Yeah. Mega Man's been pretty good. The holiday season, we were building up for all that time travel stuff for a while. Mm-hmm. Between the original one with the review was kind of like, this will be a sneaky way of putting all that stuff in after the Wily Wars thing. But the return before Mega Man X3 was kind of like a bit of an on a whim sort of thing.
That was fun.
I thought it was cool. I love doing those little video things, and I want us to be able to do a lot more of those in the future. Mega Man's given us a really nice outlet for being able to do stuff like that. Yep. I don't know where it's going to go from here. I have a couple ideas, but we haven't really fleshed them out yet.
I mean,
so
that's just good writing.
Yeah, I could be on Lost.
Yeah,
I could have been Lost, man.
Rick, what's your plan for this overarching arc?
I don't know.
Cool.
Pretty good.
Good planning.
But yeah, no, it's been pretty good so far. I'm really happy with the overall response to it. Seems like people were pretty into what we did with it. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I thought we got really lucky with how some of that stuff worked out.
I looked like a fucking badass.
You did. That was awesome.
Totally good with everything.
Big Boss Ben is definitely going to be a character that we get to see a little bit of. I love how when the time travel happened, you assumed the internet personality Ben Mooney moniker, and like I feel like it was like weeks later the Big Boss thing kind of just happens, and now it's just Big Boss Ben.
Big Boss Ben.
Big Boss Ben. He is a boss.
I like the Phantom Ben.
The Phantom Ben was pretty good. That was also a very good one.
Someone came.
I mean, you got to be careful though, because that's not far from the Phantom Menace, and that could be that's a little trickier. I don't know if that means you need to wear face paint or it means you need to be split in half and given robot legs.
I don't know if you remember this. I think it was the first Patreon Hangout. No, it was just a video that we did, actually. We just had Patreon set up. I was like, you know what I want to do with my first Patreon payment? Mm-hmm. Do you remember this?
Did you say robot legs?
Robot legs for better kicking.
So there we go. There's the robot. There's the Phantom
Full
Menace.
Full circle, everyone.
The Phantom Menace. There it is. Yeah. Overarching arc. I don't know. Tetsuya Nomura. Yeah, probably. I'm excited about Kingdom Hearts. That's been a lot. It's been tricky. The platforming has been bad, but the rest of it's been fine.
I mean, I'm glad you're having fun. It seems really frustrating.
It is very frustrating. That last boss was more than a little bit of a pain in the ass.
I wouldn't be in love with playing the game right, but at this point I don't think. I don't know. I mean,
I hear Kingdom Hearts 2 improves a lot on Kingdom Hearts 1, kind of in every way.
Good, I'll play that one then.
All right. In 2019 when we're done with Kingdom Hearts 1.
Return of Kick Day.
Return of Kick Day.
With robot legs for better kicking.
Oh wow, yeah, Jesus. Kick Day is never going to go away.
Kick Day 2.
So, here's the thing. I don't mind Kick Day as a joke. I don't mind. What I minded was that the joke that day was literally every word out of John's mouth was either kick or day, and I was like, dude, come on. Like,
that's just good. It's good comedy.
I guess so. Yeah, everyone knows comedy is repetition. Also, comedy is repetition. And if anyone tells you otherwise, comedy is repetition.
Yeah, ad infinitum.
Mm-hmm. And ad
what
nauseum.
Is comedy?
I forgot. Oh. If only someone repeated it to me, I would have known better.
We'll figure it out. Something about repetition.
I don't think I'll ever want to play Kingdom Hearts 1 again. All right, fair enough. So
it's kind of like
I've heard Chain of Memories is also a little bit of a pain to get through.
We're getting hazed.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to play a great game? How about the worst Kingdom Hearts?
Play this piece of shit first. And then you'll get into the shinier.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the plot would make way less sense if we didn't play the first one also. Like, oh, here's a kid. He keeps talking about an island and some friends and shit.
I just like giving games a hard time and like pointing
same.
out the flaws because it's... I don't know. But it doesn't seem like the worst.
Rule of threes,
It doesn't seem like the worst.
Yeah, it's been fine. I've played much worse games on this channel for stuff that we were supposed to have to do. Mega Man for Game Boy 3. Ooh, wow.
So one more time.
Mega Man Game Boy 3. Or Mega Man 3 on the Game Boy.
Well, we got some great episodes.
We did. The Mega Man games in particular that we're the worst at are the ones that seem to be the best for comedy. Mega Man 3 for the Game Boy, Mega Man 7 for John, Mega Man DOS and 3 for DOS. We're both really big on that stuff too.
Those are horrible.
Mega Man Soccer
horrible.
brought us some good stuff. Oh, I just moved the camera with my foot. I thought that was a chair. Hang on. Can I bring it back? I think I got it. Yeah.
Dude, you
just
could
let it go. There we go. I thought that was a chair. A little monkey grab with my foot, and that was.
You could be
I was wrong.
Pedal cameraman.
A what?
A pedal cameraman.
What'd you call me?
A pedal cameraman.
It's the wrong name.
Like with a foot cameraman.
I'm not Peter.
Whatever. Wonder Swan was cool.
Ooh. Sorry, I choked a little for my stupid joke. The Wonder Swan was weird because like it was a very hard game because they didn't give you any useful anything, and then suddenly you were good at being Mega Man.
Yeah, the beginning was shit.
Yeah,
then it got better.
It did get better. The second and third and fourth playthroughs were much better than the first. So.
The second, third, fourth, fifth.
Well, we had to play through a second time to get through the other paths, and then the third and fourth were for. Damn it! I did it again. The third and fourth were for. Were for you gonna nudge it this time? We're for getting the last like chips and getting 100%. Which I realized I never went up and fought base because it's hard to get to him. You have to beat all of the bosses in a row without health refills on the hardest difficulty with no powers at all. I was like, I don't think that's gonna happen. I got about 2/3 of the way through and then it didn't go. So
I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm happy.
I would have fought base, died, and gone. Well, that's it. See you guys next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So the Wonder Swan was okay. The fun part is that's not the only time we're gonna be seeing Wonder Swan. Over this next year, we're probably gonna see it 2 more times. I think.
Oh my god. Well, at least we're getting some use out of the console.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it was only for one game, I don't think I would have bought it. Yeah. I might have. Wonder Swan's just kind of a cool thing that I've always been curious about, but I don't know that I would have definitely done it. It's up on the. It should be up in the side over here somewhere. Let me go see it. Yeah, dig around. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's underneath. It's right next to the Mega Man X game. We got a pretty big stack of stuff on the wall there, and we need to clean up a little bit.
This thing is actually a cool little console.
It is. There's a lot of neat stuff. It seems like it's way easier to just start up than even just a Game Boy or Game Gear or any of that stuff. Like they seem like they had a lot more like electronic stuff going in, and this one's just kind of like, oh, I just begin. Yeah. You hit the. Oh yeah, I thought you were turning it on.
Fucking with it.
Fair enough. I feel bad. I don't know if our chat is frozen because it's been doing that or what. I'll refresh it again. I apologize.
We're just not
if
that
this,
interesting.
I guess it's possible, man. Nope. Okay, just checking. It's all good. I just want to be sure. No big deal. I'll do more flappy hands.
Cool.
Flappy hands. But yeah, so X3 has been pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it just fine. I don't
X3,
really.
Once things got rolling, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And the sad truth of things is that Mega Man X3, for all the research I've done over this past entire year, I've been trying to keep an eye out just for this situation, but from what I can tell, Mega Man X3 is in fact the final Minakuchi game, not only within Mega Man, but the last one they ever worked on. Like, sometime in the year after that, they just disappeared. They didn't get... I don't know what happened to them. They just vanished.
Which is weird, because, like, X3 seems like their best game so far.
Yeah, even Wily Wars wasn't that bad, all things considered. It was buggy, and they kind of got rushed through it, but like it wasn't that bad. And for all things considered, porting from Nintendo to Genesis is not easy.
Yeah.
Porting an almost exact copy of the first 3 games in one cartridge, plus a bonus mode on a Genesis card, is pretty impressive. So it's no small feat.
Yeah, no,
I have never had an issue with Minakuchi. John has. With the exception of Mega Man 3 on Game Boy. Other than that, though.
I mean, they've had... Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't play any of the fucking Mega Man games, so I can't even I can't even comment.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that we're able to. I know that. Yeah, good luck with the new Minakuchi engineering. I found it interesting way back when we first made the Minakuchi jokes that Minakuchi was giving us Nam flashbacks and Kuchi tunnels was an actual thing, like a known thing in the Vietnam War.
Oh,
which was like that was the first joke we ever really made with Minakuchi, and it was amazing that just happened to line up like that because they were giving us Nam flashbacks for a while, so it was cool to have that just be a joke that just fell into our laps like completely.
Yeah, I didn't even have to try for that one.
No, we did not. That's the least effort I've ever had to put in for a joke.
It's a bad joke. I mean,
it's a really bad joke,
good but bad joke.
But now we've got Coochie, and it's I'm fine with that.
Coochie coochie coo.
Mm-hmm. Also, Mighty Number 9 is less than a month. Not less than a month. It's 1 month away. I guess it's 5 weeks from yesterday.
Are you planning on having it like in the middle?
It's gonna depend on what's going on with the other games. I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna try our damnedest to have X3 and the game that come after that end before then. I think that should be fine. The game that comes after that, I don't know if we'd be able to finish it fast enough to put the brakes on Mega Man stuff in general to do Mighty Number 9. Because we're doing Mighty Number 9 day one. The day it comes out,
okay, that's what I mean.
The question is, Munch Makuchi, one of my favorite Colbert jokes. It's one of the biggest breaks on Stephen Colbert, like on the Colbert Report. He had to read off a list of names, and they were all like fake punny names, and Munch Makuchi I think was the first one that like got him to completely break.
What is it though?
Think about it, just say it out loud.
Munch Makuchi.
Say it again.
Fuck.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, we got it. It was basically that. It was a bunch of like those kinds of names, and I want to say that was the name that got him to like break in the middle of the next one.
I'm a little tired.
No, it's
you can probably tell.
I've been long and rough. I got a double shift tomorrow. I gotta leave for work at like 6 a.m. and I'm not coming home until about 11 at night. It's gonna be rough. A physical representation of Minakuchi. Will there be an antagonist? In my mind, Big Boss Ben is sort of a weird. Happens to be the closest we've got right now to a physical interpretation. Only because when you disappeared, you became this sort of ever-present thing. Like you were not here, but there was just a general like Ben vibe of like, hey, there's this other thing going on, and the same has been the case for Minakuchi. So you returning from the alternate future with Minakuchi, I think. Hey, Elpar. I think that's gonna. I imagine that Big Boss Ben, Big Boss Ben and Minakuchi will be connected in some way. I think there will be some storyline to follow from there, because I think the idea of you coming from not just alternate New Year's Eve 2015, but in fact an alternate future.
Yeah,
I think that might find its way back. The picture that was up was his mother or Mill, I think, too. Oh, for Munch Makuchi, that's actually even fucking funnier. I don't know. Minakuchi will probably find its way back in, despite the fact that this is the last Minakuchi game.
In the future, Minakuchi made the rest of the games.
Yes, in the future, they subsumed Capcom.
I'm sorry, in the alternate future.
Yes.
Minakuchi.
It could be an original future. We don't know. It's hard to say whether we folded back to the original timeline and you stayed in the alternate one that happened.
Well, it's still alternate whether it's the original or not. It's just different.
Right.
Just alternate. From the timeline we are currently in.
That's true. It gets complicated. Time travel is a really hard thing to write.
Really, I should not be here then, like at all.
Well, no, this is the timeline. We made it back. We're just very self-aware.
I didn't make it back though.
You did, like this.
Oh yeah.
That's where the bandana came from. The bandana didn't exist in the original timeline.
No, but that's. Oh yeah, there's only one me actually.
Yeah. So we never really explained why there's only one of you. Oh, actually no, because the alternate. Yeah, there was no other you in the alternate timeline.
Right.
Maybe it's because you waited until after all the other events happened. So like, there's a version of you that keeps vanishing now from that timeline.
Oh yeah.
But now you have made it here.
Weirdly, kind of makes sense.
So in our timeline, there's no D-pad. There's no Ben. And I guess the events, there's actually a little bit more of this time travel thing you haven't even seen yet. Ben talked about, me and John disappearing back to the original timeline, and that hasn't actually happened yet, but it will. More stuff will happen.
Me right here is Big Boss Ben.
Yes.
which is why
Big Boss Ben wears a bandana.
You'll always
Internet personality Ben Mooney does not.
Right.
He also Internet personality Ben Mooney traditionally I think has long hair too.
Yes.
Yeah, Big Boss Ben does not. It's like a Ricochet Rick, Jiggle Jam Johnny, Big Boss Ben.
Big Boss Ben. Until some point in the actual future, my hair just grows out, and then
that's when the two versions will converge again. That'll be our event.
That'll actually be like in the actual Metal Gear Solid games when Ocelot has Liquid Snake's arm.
That's right,
and
they
Liquid
just
Snake's
become
arm is
one
taking over his
personality.
His mind. Yeah,
that's fair. But the creator of Mega Man will do the same as Kojima and go to work with another company, except instead of Sony, it's Minakuchi. I thought for a second there I was like, well, the creator of Mega Man did work for another company. He created Concept, and that's where Mighty Number 9 came from. But Minakuchi, I don't know, man. They could come back. There's nothing to say they couldn't, unless the people who own the trademarks and the rights and anything die, and then they just kind of float away.
They just fucking die.
I don't know, man. But yeah, Mighty Number 9 is happening.
Mighty Number 9.
February
I don't know
9th.
anything about it.
February 9th is the launch date, so there's a chance that Monday we might have some kind of special video go up to lead into it or something.
We should.
Maybe that'll be a time travel video also. It certainly makes sense considering
don't know.
we're jumping to the end of the whole thing.
Because nothing has been written.
Surprise.
The future is up to you. And only you can destiny your future.
The future is not written in stone.
Grab your destiny.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
By the balls.
No, don't do that.
And squeeze gently and tick. Anyway.
Okay. Well, so Mighty Number 9. Yes, it's happening.
I'll play it.
We'll play it.
I'll play
you
it.
want to play it? Yeah, cool. Awesome. I think we're all excited for that one. I think what we have to do
see
is
how
really...
far I get, but I'll play
we're going to have to try to get people together that day and be like, hey, look, gotta do it. So there's that. Yeah, he is sort of like the Voldemort, or they are sort of like the Voldemort of Mega Man games. I guess that's true.
How many people work for Minakuchi Engineering?
I have no
7?
idea.
Tell me it's 7.
Judging by the credits on their games, it's not that low.
Because that would be the number of Horcruxes.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good point. Each of the employees becomes a Horcrux. It's like,
Minakuchi.
well, shit. We all
You have to kill all of them.
You have to kill them all to bring it back? How does that work? Who brings it back then? Just you, the one who murdered a company? Like literally, physically, with a knife or a gun?
No, you have to kill
fists?
You have to kill all 7 employees in order to finally destroy Minakuchi.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. That's more of a thing.
Don't worry, Mega Man games are not my tops either. At all. But I'm still here.
It reminds me, since there was such a clean break on Mega Man, I want to ask all you fine folks, both here right now in the live comments or also after the fact. I'll probably throw the same thing on Twitter and in the subreddit, which woefully needs more attention. I've abandoned the thing over the holidays.
It's been kind of slow.
But I wanted to put up a list of here are all the games we played in 2015 and figure out what people decided was the best game that we played the best Let's Play of all of them. Even just whether it's Mega Man only or everything. We probably played about 40 games in 2015, maybe 50. We played a lot of fucking games. Actually, the Friday Before Christmas includes a bunch there too, so at least 40, probably 50.
Yeah.
Speaking of, the Friday Before Christmas is no longer the Friday Before Christmas, unless I guess the Friday Before Christmas 2016 now.
I mean, every day is before Christmas except for Christmas Day.
Even Christmas is before Christmas, just before the next one.
Fuck. Yeah. Dude. Seriously.
But yeah, no, we're keeping it going. We just finished Gods Will Be Watching. The episode, I think, went up this morning or this afternoon.
Okay.
Immediately after we're done here, we're going to be recording some Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Spoiler, I guess. It'll go up either late tonight or sometime tomorrow. I will jump in. I'll start it as usual, if anything. The Fright Before Christmas will end eventually. There's only a couple more games left.
Well, no, it's not. It's not the Fright Before Christmas anymore. Now it's
the Fright After Christmas.
It's the Janu Scary.
Oh, that's right. It's Janu Scary.
Yeah,
I forgot it's Janu Scary.
I like Janu Scary.
And
February.
Oh, I liked Deaduary, but I do like February. February is good. But it's continuing. We got some plans for when it ends, but we're not going to talk about that right now. I think you guys are going to like it. I think you guys are going to like what we have left of it too.
Of what?
Of the Friday Before Christmas.
Oh.
I had my notes and I let them go away of what to talk about.
Oh my God.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
So I just whispered cocks after dying. That happens a lot. You're gonna be more specific than that.
Rick whispers cocks a lot.
I do. I really
He's just
do.
like cocks into his own.
I just Ben's ready for bed, and I just kind of sneak in next to him and go cocks.
I'm like,
and I walk away. Just fade away. I incept it. It's So Pokemon, we are on our way to the 6th gym and the end of Disc 2, as we're kind of calling it. The plan right now, the original plan was we were going to play through the 6th gym and whatever the second end boss is, and then jump into Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But on February 27th, that's the big 20th anniversary of Pokemon. And as such, for all we know, there will be some kind of big announcement of Pokemon Z. And also, we're a little burned out on Pokemon.
Man.
We've good night.
Watch the video later.
Yeah,
you're gonna miss all the good stuff.
What the hell was I gonna say? Oh, we just thinking about it. We realized we've been actually playing Pokemon on a daily basis longer than we played Zelda on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, that's kind of depressing.
Yeah, and
not depressing, but it's like whoa.
Yeah. We've done 7 games now. Insurgence is the 7th game because we did Fire Red, we did X and Y, we did Leaf Green, we did Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and then Insurgence is number 7. So 7 games in a year and a half of Pokemon is really... Yeah, I'm sure Suzerain will release version 1.2 the day after you finish Disc 2. It's entirely possible. Mm-hmm. He has said that the plan is that the 1.2 or version 2, or whatever he calls it, is going to come out early spring. I don't think it's going to take me that long to get through the next leg of the game.
Depends on how much of your team you lose.
Yeah, I mean, but with the Audinos, that's just an instant get the team back up thing, really. So, and it seems like he is. It seems like he's going to be working with it. He worked with it a lot over the Christmas break and over holidays in general right now. So it's entirely possible it could be done sooner. If it happens to be done before we finish version 1.1, then we'll just keep it going. We may as well at that point just finish it off.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen until after we're done with it, then we're going to take a break from Pokemon altogether for a little bit, not long, and we're just going to pick it back up when 1.2 comes out and finish off the game. And then probably from there jump into either Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or Pokemon Z, depending on if they make an announcement about it. Heart Gold, Soul Silver is going to be a really long game, though. That's the reason we've been kind of hesitant about jumping into it, because it's going to be...
What's that?
Heart Gold, Soul Silver?
Oh, yeah, it will be.
It is inherently longer than any of the actual real Pokemon games to happen. Wait, I lost my train of thought in the middle of the sentence. It's longer than those games have taken. Yeah. There's more stuff. There's the 8 gym leaders, plus the Elite Four, plus Kanto, which, while it's quicker, for sure, than
still
Johto...
a lot of stuff to go do.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Those games...
There's a lot of... It doesn't have a lot of the newer quality of life improvements, too, so it's going to be a little bit slower paced, I think. TMs are single use, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that.
Don't forget about that.
Oh, damn it.
Don't forget when you start playing. I'll yell at you again when we start
Worst
playing.
part, too, is if Z doesn't happen, the next game we're likely to play after Heart Gold and Soul Silver is going to be Diamond Pearl, which is like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but way less memorable and just generally not as good in any real capacity.
We can skip Diamond Pearl, right?
I think we should do it just to be able to be like, we beat that and our reward is Black and White.
Oh, Black and White's fucking awesome.
Black and White is amazing, and we're saving it for as late as possible so that we can really savor it. Because no one wants to do Black and White and then play Diamond Pearl.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Bad ideas all around. Plus, we get to see Looker in his early days.
Yeah. Was in Diamond Pearl?
He started in Diamond Pearl, I think. I think that's how it went. He was kind of he was an unnamed character. They named him in Black and White.
Poor guy had a rough start.
Yeah, not a good way to go. If I were you, would skip Diamond Pearl. Yeah, if anything, it's heartbreaking because Pokemon follow you around, just like Insurgents, honestly. That's the saddest part with Insurgents, is not seeing people behind me anymore. I don't see anyone either because I've got fucking armor on Tennyson. So, because there's no armor sprite, I got this weird hair thing going on. What's that all about? Tennyson has Oh, there it is. Yeah, just like that. Yes. Yes. Tennis at his armor, so he doesn't follow me around, but I like having him in the pole position just because he is probably my best dude right now.
Who is it? Just your second Pokemon slot follows you instead?
No one follows you. If the sprite doesn't exist, it doesn't do anything.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It really is the worst Pokemon game ever. Yeah, I didn't play it for the longest time because I didn't play Ruby Sapphire when it first came out because I actually really don't know why I didn't play it. I think that was around the time my mom was insistent that I stop playing Pokemon because I was getting too old for it.
Never too old for Pokemon.
It was before the renaissance of Pokemon where suddenly everyone plays it.
Oh, man.
And then Diamond Pearl came out, and I think I bought it for myself, and it was just big mistake. I was not happy with my choice. I had to be convinced by somebody else to buy Pokemon Black, and then I did, and it was just magic. Wonderful. Yeah. I still haven't played Black and White 2. I own Black 2, and I have never opened it. I've owned that game for about 5 years, probably.
I never played Black White 2. That's the only Pokemon generation I haven't played, actually.
I haven't played... I never played Ruby Sapphire, the originals.
I played those.
So Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Neither had John either, so it was kind of neat to have one that neither of us had touched at all.
Well, that's good. Diamond Pearl is also single-use TMs, I think.
Probably.
So those are going to be those two games are going to be some rough Nuzlocke.
Yeah.
If you use a really
then
good
Black
TM,
White is where they permanent TMs that you can use all you want. Just nice story, a story that actually feels like something's happening with gym leaders that have a point. It's just all nice quality of life stuff. Yeah. I'm excited for Pokemon. I feel like since Black and White, it's been a steady uphill climb. I guess technically you could say since Diamond and Pearl, since anything is better than Diamond and Pearl. But the normally Pokemon games with only 100 new Pokemon, like Gold and Silver, have Pokemon from other generations on it, but not Pokemon, not Diamond and Pearl, I think. So it's just Gen 4 stuff? That'd be interesting. Right? I know Black and White was definitely just Gen 5 Pokemon until you beat the Elite Four, which was awesome because it was a hard cut from the previous game.
It's definitely a slow... Diamond Pearl is a slow fucking game.
Yeah. I remember... You know what's funny?
I'm trying to remember...
I pulled up my copy of Pokemon Diamond fairly recently because I thought I had beaten the game and gotten to some island at the end of the game where you can, advance stuff and just keep going. But I went back and I realized I never finished the fucking game. I only beat 6 gyms and I just gave up because I was tired of it.
Which game?
Pokemon Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
I only beat 6 gym leaders and was like, fuck this. News to me. I didn't even realize. I totally spaced on that. But
oh, no, I didn't want that.
But yeah, Black and White had no old Pokemon. But Black and White was basically, in very many ways, except for, from a continuity standpoint, a reboot of Pokemon. Everything was new. Everything felt... A lot of the Pokemon felt like, retreads of old Pokemon. But because it was such a hard detachment from the previous one, it felt fine. I had no issue with it being like, oh, here's Roggenrola, obviously the Geodude of this game. Oh, here's Snivy, the Bulbasaur wannabe of this game. Like, it was not a problem for me. I didn't really mind it.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of those Pokemon were really good.
I'm just
a lot more versatile, a lot better type variants and stuff.
In Diamond Pearl?
No, Black and White.
Oh, yeah. Diamond
Pearl had a lot of evolution things.
Yeah. Diamond Pearl, I was just looking through the list of new Pokemon from Diamond Pearl. I was like, I hate all of these Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's like 3 cool Pokemon that came out of Diamond Pearl.
Fucking. Actually, is Tangrowth from Diamond Pearl?
Yeah, that's when they did all the Togekiss, Magmortar, Electivire, Tangrowth, Rhyperior, the like super evolutions that they needed.
Man. I hate Tangrowth.
Probopass.
I hate Tangrowth.
Tangrowth is cool.
I know, but I hate what it looks like. It's such an ugly Pokemon, and Tangela is one of my all-time favorites. I've told the story a million times of my shiny Tangela, the only shiny Pokemon I've ever seen, let alone caught. And it's green, so I named it Medusa. I don't know what game it lives on right now. I want to say Pokemon Black.
Yeah, there's a couple cool Pokemon out of Diamond Pearl, but it's like, it's just not that memorable.
Really just Black and White did have good music too, actually. Yeah,
just kind of a gray game. Just kind of like.
Yeah, I remember nothing about it. Like plot-wise, nothing. Gym leaders, no idea.
I remember catching.
Is Rourke one of the gym leaders there?
No. I remember catching Bronzor. That's it.
I don't remember. Bronzor, yeah. Rhyperior is I do like Rhyperior. I think Rhyperior is okay. Magmortar and Electivire annoy me. Togekiss is fine if you give it the right moves. I think
there's some good Pokemon.
I think Togekiss,
Gliscor, and
Togekiss being made fairy in Gen 6, I think was a huge boost for Togekiss because that thing felt fucking useless before.
It's still a Paraflincher, but
it is. But getting something like Dazzling Gleam on it makes it actually a useful fighter too. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, so Heart Gold Soul Silver will happen. I'll say this: it'll happen sometime this year for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know when this year specifically. It'll almost certainly happen before the summer or by the summer.
It'll be the game that follows Insurgents in one sense or another.
So. I mean, if we keep playing Insurgents and it happens to go all the way through, like they happen to put out 1-2 before we finish this, then we'll still take some kind of break before we jump into Heart Gold Soul Silver. But I don't know how long that break will be. You know me, I'm a big purveyor's wrong word. I like important dates, so I'll try to make it land on something important, I guess.
Advocate.
Mm-hmm. Bohemian 60s look to it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Black and White's more an American Pokemon game in a lot of senses. Yeah, Unova's based on New York City, so that does make sense. There's literally like the tip of Manhattan is what the region basically is, and a little bit of Jersey, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, so Black and White will eventually come. I don't know entirely when. If anything, I would love for Black and White to happen in 2017 as like a 5-year anniversary of us playing Pokemon at all. But we'll see how that goes. Date. Hey, I think important dates are nice to be able to uphold, I guess. So that's Pokemon. We already talked about the Fright Before Christmas. Triforce Heroes, we're going to try to get that started again this Tuesday. The holidays have been tricky for timing stuff. I'm the worst. I was not available at all to go hang out with CJ. He's off until, I don't know, very soon. Not tonight, I mean like date-wise. We have a big calendar up on the wall.
CJ's right there, actually.
Yeah, he's right. Don't turn.
He's trying to get me to play Mario Maker all the fucking time.
Yeah. I'm waiting for his Mad Mario 4 to be done.
Oh yeah, we got to do more of that.
I think when Mad Mario 4 is done, that'll probably be the end of us doing Mario Maker. Mm-hmm. It's a fine game. It's just tricky enough to organize, and we didn't jump on it fast enough, early enough for it to be like a bread and butter for us. But that's something we got to do more of. Is we got to keep an eye on game releases that have some replay value to them, because most of the games we play don't have a whole lot of replay value.
What do you mean?
Like. There's with Super Mario Maker, there's always new levels being made. You can always come back and play. You know, it's basically, for all intents and purposes, think Happy Wheels is what made PewDiePie popular in the first place. And Super Mario Maker is a very similar idea to that, where just user-generated levels, and there's never a shortage of new levels to play.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to try, I guess in a similar vein, we're going to try to do more Steam games. The big shout out to Dietrich Online Services getting us a hold of some of those game codes.
I'm shouting out them.
Shout out to them.
I'm shouting out to them.
They probably heard you on that one.
I have a very loud voice.
That's true. And Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is going all right so far. We already talked about it earlier, I guess. Platforming is weird and very floaty and slippery. It's kind of like it feels cloudy is the best way I can describe it. Like it's not like you're sliding everywhere, but everything is just kind of like. Try to jump on this and you go, yay! Oh no, I'm over here.
It's like,
yay! Oh no, missed it.
The collision detection is not great.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. But it's okay so far. There's some tricky stuff. Yahtzee's Best and Worst Games of 2015. I have not seen it yet.
Rick is a fan of Yahtzee.
I am a fan of Yahtzee.
I watch him from time to time.
I haven't watched him lately. I usually sought him out.
I only watched if it's a game that I'm playing.
Yeah, I haven't watched too many of his. I need to go back and watch a lot of his stuff from basically this whole year. I haven't watched almost any of his stuff from this year. I guess part of it too is I don't really get that many opportunities to play new games very often, so I don't focus too much on the new games.
Yeah.
Although
we should bring back Fallout 4 when we have some time.
We should. I think we're gonna have some time fairly soon. Triforce Heroes is not going to get replaced with anything when it's done. When Twilight Princess HD comes around, we're going to do like a video for that. And I think when Hyrule Warriors Legends comes out, that's the one we're going to actually spend some more time on.
Hyrule Warriors Legends, what is
that? It's the 3DS sort of sequel to Hyrule Warriors.
Huh.
This is one with like.
It's
the one starring Big Boat Ben.
What?
King Hyrule is one of the fighters.
As a boat?
Probably for sometimes, yeah. It's gonna be awesome. It's got like Toon Link and Tetra and Skull Kid.
I mean, I guess
and a new story. So I mean,
I'll
I think
have to play it as King Boat, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna like it. When does Legend of Zelda Wii U, whatever the name of that game is called, come out?
2016.
Oh, well, that's this year.
Yep. Just like last year was 2015, like they said last year too. I think it'll probably be done this year, though their ambition seems to be very, very high with it, so it's entirely possible that it could get pushed back to 2017. We'll have to see how that goes, I guess. His boat is his super. Oh, okay,
for real? Is that really... Like, you're not just fucking with me? He turns into a boat serious. As part of his...
Yeah. In the same way that young Link turns into Fierce Deity Link.
Oh my god.
You should do a 10-second review in that video so we can include the game in the first place. That's how good he thinks it is. Which game are we talking about for 2015? I'm going to scroll up on here. It's going to get really confusing for a second, guys. I don't know. Which game are you talking about? Are you talking about Kingdom Hearts 2? Was that one that the re-release couldn't have possibly come out in 2015? I think it was further back than that. My beard looks weird. What's up with this? I'm a mess today. What's up with
You gotta grow it out longer.
I do. It's like sideways on me. There we go. That's better.
Gotta grow it out like this long.
Yeah. I have... You know what it is? I have problems growing it like right in the middle. There's like... It's thinner right here. I don't know why.
I think that beards just do that. Because mine does too. It's like not quite as much here. So
right, like I can get it to do like...
see,
it's doing it right now. I got like this thing coming this way and this one goes that way. So I don't know what the fuck is happening.
How many of you guys have beards?
Anyone out there with beards?
Press 1.
Beard woes. I'm terrible at trimming my beard the right way. It's kind of a shame.
I don't even trim my beard. I just
the new Zelda's going to be like Twilight
let it go
Princess,
wild.
releasing on 2 systems, focus on the old. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm suspecting. Details about NX are supposedly coming out this summer, so we'll have to see what happens there. I'm excited for it. I've been very excited since that very first trailer for it, which was it wasn't even this. It was 2014, I think. I seem to recall working at. I guess I can say. Yeah, I worked at Turbine in 2014. I guess all my NDAs are up.
I like your half beard.
I want to say I was working there when it's a half beard, whatever. Steve has a half beard, I guess.
You got a beard.
I got this thing. I can't do the mustache very well to save my life. It's awful here. It doesn't connect. So I'm doomed to only do the chin curtain forever.
A chin curtain.
We don't get that side. We don't get that side. But yeah, I want to say 2014, sometime in the summerish time, was when they revealed Wii U Zelda, and there's been very few details since then,
which is cool,
which is good.
Yeah.
I was so upset. I feel like I'm always upset because there's no such thing as keeping secrets anymore for the most part. Like, stuff is spoiled so early, so easily and so early.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes part of the common knowledge, and people like get upset that you don't want it spoiled.
What was Cloud in Smash Brothers was another like
they managed to keep that under wraps.
Leaked at all.
It was never leaked. I don't know how they did that.
Which is weird because other DLC characters had been leaked already. So
yep.
I don't know.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me that Cloud for Smash... I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, like, if someone tried to leak it, who the fuck was ever going to believe them?
Yeah.
Right? Like, maybe that was the idea. It was like, we're going to take something that everyone wants, but everyone thinks is so ridiculous and impossible that if anyone even tries to say it's happening...
some dude, like, trying to go, like, dude, they're making... Like, someone who works there is like, dude, they're making Cloud. He's going to be the next DLC character.
It's like,
yeah, fuck you.
Right,
fucking
whatever.
Asshole.
Fucking...
And then that whoever that was, whoever, like... told that guy to go jog on was like, ah, shit.
Also, I like the idea of jog on. That's my favorite new, like, fuck off synonym. It's like, yeah, you know what? Jog on.
I don't remember where I heard it first.
I like it, though.
It's like
it sounds kind of British.
It is. But I don't remember where it was. Probably from, like, Shaun of the Dead.
Bayonetta was a good secret, too. Bayonetta seems like the most understandable one to go out on of everyone. Bayonetta's got a huge following now with the Nintendo fans. It made sense. Enough with the fucking Fire Emblem characters. There are 6 now in Smash. There are more Fire Emblem characters than there are Zelda characters. And Zelda is like, after Mario, Zelda's like the big franchise for. I guess there's Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda.
Yeah.
Are the big triumvirate now. So why? I think there's fewer Pokemon too. There's what? There's Greninja, Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, Lucario, Jigglypuff.
Lucario.
Makes 6. Are there any more? Are we forgetting any? So 6. So there's as many as there are Pokemon.
I was gonna say Squirtle and Ivysaur, but
they're not anymore.
That's Project M.
Yeah. And Brawl just in general, but Star Wars spoilers. Yeah, we won't say any more spoilers because it's still early enough. It's only been out for it hasn't even been out for 3 weeks.
Did we say spoilers?
Oh, someone was saying that they got Star Wars spoiled for them.
That's...
I did too, for its worth, on Reddit. Some guy was pissed off about like some random thing he was being a dickbag about, and then people were like, "No, you're being an asshole." And he's like, "Oh yeah, whatever." Spoiler, and it's like, dude, come on, like.
Yeah, some people are just dicks, man.
But yeah, no, it was Star Wars is very good if anyone out there hasn't seen it yet. It also, just today, became the highest grossing film in history for U.S. box office. It just beat out Avatar. Avatar is at 760 million in U.S. box office, and Star Wars beat that.
Actually, I just went today and watched Hateful Eight, which I think was a better film than Star Wars. It's come from a big Star Wars fan too.
Yeah.
But Hateful Eight's been doing shitty in box office, like
because it got fucked by Star Wars. You know, it's one of those things like.
It's also kind of a bummer that they're like 70 mm, is that right?
70 millimeter, yeah.
Millimeter release was so short and like.
Is it gone already?
Yeah.
Fuck me. I was hoping that down the street that they would still be running it.
Maybe some places will like still have it or something, but I think that the like release, the like wide release of the 70 millimeters is done. It was only like a week or so.
You know what's sad
long.
too? I know a guy who works for the company that sets up all the projectors.
Yeah.
And he was way ahead of time. Was like, all right, look, when Christmas comes around, you got to get in on this. It's gonna be the shortest fucking thing ever. And it's like,
it's a bummer. Like it should have been. I don't know. It should have been longer.
I'm literally one of these days. If I'm ever a millionaire, I'm gonna buy myself a 70 mil projector and find a way to get a hold of one of those reels, and just fucking go nuts. Because that's the kind of guy I am. Star Wars was always fun, though. Maybe not so much great as movies. Original pushed a lot of envelopes. Yeah.
Star Wars is more of like it's a fun kind of action-y film. It's not like a C film by any means.
It got me really
thinking. I
thinking.
guess that's definitely a good point.
It got me really thinking. And it's sort of unrelated to Star Wars itself, but Darth Vader is such a completely iconic villain, one of the all-time greatest villains in film history. And Kylo Ren was fine. I'm intrigued to see what happens with the rest of the trilogy, but it got me thinking, like, are we ever going to have...
Good question. We'll address that.
What games you're excited for in 2016? We will come back to that, yes.
Finish your thought. Please.
I'm wondering, are we ever going to see... Is film ever going to really be able to produce completely iconic villains ever again? I feel like... And maybe it's just one of those, like... Because I'm not in my teens or 20s, stuff doesn't stand out as much in that way. But like, I can't think of any real villains from the 2010s, for example, that are like that is going to stick around forever.
It's not like they can't make good villains, because there have been a lot of good villains, but nothing that just like is so infectious in pop culture that it'll be anything close to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who Darth Vader is. Everyone.
I think it was a combination of Vader being a very good, very scary, very dominating villain, but also because Star Wars itself was such a technological achievement, and it did so much. Not that the new one isn't. There were a lot of stuff that the new Star Wars did that actually were very, very good for future films.
It would have had to be something where, like, say Avatar was a good movie. Imagine a world where Avatar was a good movie, because that was a huge technological advancement, and everyone needed to go see it. Everyone's like, you gotta go see Avatar, it looks amazing, and you watch it, it's like, yeah, it looks amazing,
but nothing. I can't remember a single quote.
Yeah.
All I remember is Unobtainium, the fucking stupidest name for anything ever. I think the planet was called Pandora.
Yeah. The material
and the blue people are called Navi.
Yeah. Unobtainium was the mineral that they were harvesting.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys. At least fake a name. Pandorium would make more sense. That's the name of the planet, so why not call it, the place where you get it from or something? But fucking Unobtainium, no.
It's like, dude, you are obtaining it.
Yeah, you're literally obtaining
They're
this
getting the stuff that's called you can't get it.
Gladys. Oh, maybe that job got picked up by games. That's a fair point. Good villains in games. Gladys is definitely going to be a villain that sticks around for a long time.
That's true.
And even video games have their own, like, most of them are franchised, like Bowser, Dr. Yeah, can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
That's good.
Yeah. Bowser, Dr. Wily, Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, games have kind of picked up that. And before it was kind of only within gaming culture, but that's becoming so much bigger and wider range now that, GLaDOS is very iconic. And, well, I wouldn't say that most, it's still not the same scale as Vader.
Oh, definitely not.
But
I'm trying to think.
What is
the scariest video game villain you can think of, and the one that has like lasting power?
The last what?
The one that has lasting power, like they're gonna stick around, but they are like just a genuinely fucking terrifying. I guess I want to say Gygas, but that's still such a niche thing. Even as Earthbound becomes more popular, that's still like if you just say Gygas to somebody, they're not going to necessarily know what you mean. Sephiroth. If you say Darth Vader,
yeah, Sephiroth is like the closest gaming
which
equivalent.
Sucks because Sephiroth is as a character is awful.
Yeah,
it's a really boring, kind of pitiful character. I think Kefka is a better villain.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get as much play because he was at the tail end of Super Nintendo going down versus Sephiroth being there as the PlayStation rose to prominence.
Sephiroth had the design. He's visually he's designed well.
Yeah, which is ironic because it was a ripoff of the villain of Dragon Quest IV. I mean, it was a year and a half later.
Supposedly.
It's a pretty big gap, and this was right as Square and Enix were starting to converge on each other to join up too. It would not surprise. And if you guys haven't played Dragon Quest IV, the main villain, Saro, or Pissarro, I don't know if the P is silent. Psaro is a fairly, like, mid-size, a little skinny sort of dude, long white hair down to his butt, carries a sword. I don't think it's a katana, but it is a sword, like a very long sword.
Yeah.
And he wears, like, all black, although it has a gold trim. And he's got a very, like, superior, wipe out the humans sort of thing going on. It's not far off, is what I'm getting at.
I mean, visually he's designed well. He was in a game that
Andros doesn't work so well because Star Fox only puts out one game every 12 years.
He was in Final Fantasy. Sephiroth is in Final Fantasy VII, which was like the big flagship title. Like it was the big RPG.
Yeah,
like everyone, that's why Cloud's in Smash Brothers.
And Cloud's in Kingdom Hearts wearing Vincent's clothes for reasons.
Sephiroth was in Kingdom Hearts too.
Yeah. Also, for what it's worth,
I don't know if he's in. I don't know what game he's in. The
first one, but Andros is the reason that I went from being pretty okay with Star Fox Adventures to instantly feeling betrayed by that game.
I don't remember anything about Star Fox's Adventures.
I don't want to spoil the game. It's an old game. It's an old game. I guess so. Yeah, it's a GameCube game. So, all right, spoiler time for Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube. If you don't want it spoiled, block your ears for about 30 seconds. You play through the whole game on a dinosaur planet. You meet up with the blue fox lady whose name I forget.
Crystal.
Mm-hmm. It's a good game. It's basically Zelda starring Star Fox team. You get to the end of the game, you do this huge temple thing and all that stuff, and finally, at the very end of the game, the head at the top of the statue at the top of the final area floats off, and you have to chase it into space. And it is like blah, 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 and it turns around and it's Andros.
Okay.
After being absent completely from the entire game, not mentioned at all, suddenly it's just Andros. And then Falco swoops in and helps out, who hasn't been in the game at all either. Like, it was a completely different game until the final boss battle goes, by the way, it's Star Fox.
Why wasn't it just a shooter?
It didn't need the shooting bit at all. It could have been some crazy,
I'd rather the whole game have been a shooter than... I don't know, whatever.
I didn't mind Star Fox Adventures. Most of the game was fine. I actually really enjoyed it. It was one of the first... games to completely to completely cover up their loading times. Seamless transitions was one of their big selling points. Because they had a huge world, and what they would do was, and it was smart to the point where you had to wonder why no one thought of it before.
And no one's done it since.
Yeah, some do, but not nearly as many.
Know what
the idea is, if you have an area that's this wide, say there's an exit over here and an exit over here, you're coming in through here. As you get to about this point, they realize, oh, they're going to get to here in about 40 seconds. Let's start loading up that area ahead of time, at least the entrance, and it's going to progressively load out the next area as you're here. And it does that in the background.
Okay. Right.
So you're still running around, and they're loading the next area for you so that when you get to that door, it just kind of, you're there.
All right, so plenty of games have done that since then.
Yeah, it was a very smart call. It really smoothed out the game. I didn't remember having any real issues with loading times or anything.
Yeah.
Ganondorf, I would love to say Ganondorf is one who rides the train on reputation alone, because lately Ganondorf has been absent from Zelda. He basically hasn't actually been the real bad guy since Twilight Princess, and that was 11 years ago.
What happened? What's been here?
Since then, we've had Skyward Sword,
okay,
which had the precursor to Ganondorf in Demise.
Yeah, but not Ganondorf.
Yeah. There has been I forget if Four Swords Adventures came out after. No, Four Swords Adventures I think came out before Twilight Princess, and that was another Ganondorf. Ganondorf shows up in Link Between Worlds, but he immediately gets absorbed by the other bad guys.
I mean,
that's it. Those were the two big and I guess Triforce Heroes, which we don't. It seems like it's like Ganondorf isn't showing up. I'll be kind of disappointed if he does. He doesn't really belong in these weird side games. And I know Ganondorf feels like a one-trick pony. I would love to see him as part of a larger plot.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough because people feel cheated if you use the same villain over and over. Unless they are
Bowser,
the bad guy, like Bowser, Wily, Robotnik.
Yeah.
And even Robotnik is suffering Ganondorf syndrome, where now he starts up a thing and then gets knocked to the side.
Just to do something different.
Yeah, Metroid Prime and Mass Effect both do. Mass Effect 1, that elevator loading time was obscene. That was insulting, how long. And it's like, hey, look, we'll just hide in the elevator. They won't know.
Yeah.
That works great if you don't have a minute and a half of staring at the elevator shaft.
Dark Souls has some of the best free-flowing loading of any game that I've ever played.
Yeah,
it just, like you said, procedurally loads the different areas as
for
you
the
get
most
close
part.
to them.
Whenever you go to, anytime you have to go back to the hub, they usually have loading time there, and you come back and there's not. I nudged the thing again. I'm so sorry.
There's no loading time unless you warp.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's bypassing the whole moving from area to area.
Framed as an album with Eggman, Ganondorf, Bowser, and Sephiroth as a boy band. Yeah, I can see that. I had a thing I was going to say earlier and I forgot.
I don't know if I would classify Dark Souls, just Dark Souls, as an iconic villain, but I kind of see what you're getting at, because it especially with Dark Souls 2 became like it kind of blew up in popularity.
It could
just
be
as the environment will kill you, like you will die was like the.
Yeah,
that was the
it's
marketing.
pretty much the big selling
that was
point.
like the marketing phrase. Like,
I'm wondering if the big problem for video games here is that with movies, you follow a narrative. Not that games don't, but you follow a narrative that's preset out, and sometimes the bad guy gets away, sometimes they win. It's not always you're not always going to be the winner at the end of that. But in games, as a player, you tend to feel kind of cheated if you don't get to actually put down the bad guy at the end. Mm-hmm. I can think of very few games where you win, but you don't destroy or otherwise handicap or knock out the bad guy by the end of the game. Because I guess it feels like you're not getting the chance to live out the fantasy to the fullest.
Yeah.
Like you're getting most of the experience, but at the very end they're like, see you next time.
Yeah, I'd rather...
Halo 2 kind of does that. If I remember, I didn't play it. I saw a lot of the reactions to it where it's like it suddenly just cuts off and goes, finish the fight. It's like, I would love to.
Yeah. I'd rather more like story-driven games than just like fantasy wish fulfillment type of like kill the enemies and save the day. Like it's old.
I would love to see a game, and I know that I just literally complained about Halo 2 doing this, but it was very sudden in the way they did it. I would love to see a game series released in the same way as stuff like Lord of the Rings, where you know it's part of a much bigger thing. And I'm not talking episodic releases. I'm talking, here's a huge chunk of the game. Next year we're going to have huge chunk of the game too.
That's sort of kind of how Metal Gear Solid series is.
I guess.
I mean, they're all interconnected and have an overarching plot, but each game in and of itself has its own game. And it's
I guess that's fair.
Always win. You know, you might beat the boss, but that doesn't mean you won. Like, some of them get away and continue to fuck you over.
Yeah, so. I guess that's a fair point. I don't know. Sequelization is hard. It's hard to get people to feel like they've earned, they've earned the ending, but that the ending has earned praise. That's a hard line. Yeah, I don't know what makes it. That's one of the big mysteries when it comes to writing. There's a reason that good writers are good at writing, because what makes a good ending is a very hard thing to figure out.
I keep seeing Undertale being brought up, and it's supposed to be a great game, but I don't know anything about it.
I know nothing about it.
We should play it.
We should. We were thinking about making that the spooky game follow-up to The Fright Before Christmas.
Oh.
I don't know if we will. We might. We're gonna.
I would like
it this way.
I would like to play it.
By Valentine's Day, our schedule for games is going to be a lot lighter than it's been lately, because if Pokemon goes down and Triforce Heroes goes down, we have something that's going to follow up The Fright Before Christmas. So maybe Undertale might be a worthwhile, single game
I would love to play Undertale. Yeah. Just because I've heard it's good. I don't.
I've heard really good things about it. Everyone's loving it. Weirdly enough, it was in the running in a tournament. Against Ocarina of Time for the best game of all time, and it's like, that seems like it's a little early to be dropping that on Undertale.
I don't know, man. People, it's been like getting a lot of praise, so I don't really know.
I don't know. I mean, I think turns RPG tropes in there. I do like that. I do like games that are at least vaguely self-aware, and they kind of try to avert some of the more common tropes. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see that one in action. I know nothing about it. I'd be fine doing that one.
Yeah, I heard that it was RPG-ish. But,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what that means. Is it like a roguelike, or is it like a turn-based? Like,
Yahtzee loves it almost as much as Portal. Wow. All right, that is a pretty meaningful commendation. It's
been winning all sorts of awards and shit. Like, I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to keep an eye out for it then. I don't know. I would love to say that by the next one of these that we do, we're going to have some big stuff to talk about, but I think it's going to be close. It's going to be pretty close.
Maybe if we delay it like we always do.
I don't want to delay it anymore. This is our December hangout, and it's January 6th. Like, we're going to do our best to make sure the next hangout is actually in the month it's supposed to be.
We'll do our best.
If not that one, then definitely by the one in February, there will be some cool new stuff to talk about.
We'll try anyway. If not that one, then
2016 is going to be a big year.
March, maybe.
I think
But
February.
if not that one, then definitely April.
April, there will also
April,
there will also be some big stuff to talk about. I'm looking forward to it. We have a lot of cool stuff. I can think of at least like 5 big things that we're going to be trying out in 2016. Some of it's very experimental. Some of it's not. We're going to see how it goes. I feel like we're kind of winding down. I don't know if there's much... Oh, games we're looking forward to in 2016.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Mighty Number 9. I hope...
No.
I'm
not looking forward to that.
I am way disappointed in the way Red Sun? Not Red Sun. I forget the name of it. The Mega Man Legends remake thing for Concept. I was very disappointed in how that all went down. The game was not even out yet, and they were already creating a new Kickstarter for a new game and an anime to go along with it. And it's like, guys, just finish the thing you're working on, please, because this is going to go down so sour. And then the second that they said, oh, by the way, right at the end, hey, we've got backing, we've got investing from this other company, yay! And everyone's like, oh, so you never needed our help in the first place.
Dicks.
Cool. And everyone started pulling out fast. It lost a lot of money at the end because of that. And, like, I'm glad they said it. I'm glad they didn't, like, knowingly withhold that information until after the fact. But at the same time, it's like, don't do a Kickstarter if you know you're going to have money from somewhere else, or if you suspect that.
It's pretty shitty.
And especially while the first game that you Kickstarted isn't even out yet, it struck me as being a fairly obvious cry for funds. They were cutting stuff from Mighty Number 9, and in the middle of cutting stuff, they suddenly put up another thing that's going to be crowdfunding money. So I think what the plan was, Mighty Number 9 is struggling financially. Let's kickstart another game. The money from that goes to Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 comes out, does well. That money then goes to fund the other game. I think that's what the plan was.
It's a dangerous game to play.
It is a very dangerous game to play, and I think that they got found out, basically, judging by the reaction everyone had to it. And it sucks because I liked the idea of that other game, but it's like, finish what you're working on.
Yeah.
And then do that, and people will be fine with it. The fact that we didn't get to see what our money was being put into on Mighty Number 9 yet, that's the problem that everyone was having. But so Mighty Number 9 looks good. I know you guys are excited for Dark Souls 3.
So Dark Souls 3 is a huge, huge game for me. Overwatch, the next Blizzard, they have a new IP.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Team Fortress style first-person shooter that looks really good. I need to put together a new computer at some point to start playing these new gen games.
We're probably going to try to get a new just D-pad PC at some point, and if anything, maybe that's something we can just kind of move around and shit.
Pool money together from us and put together a monster of a PC. That'd be pretty cool.
Because we got to replace the laptop is suffering more and more and more. It's been slowing down, which has been frustrating for this guy.
What's the
how did I manage to miss pointing at myself?
That's not good. It's not good.
That's how hard it's been on this guy.
Yeah. Gearbox also has a cooperative shooter that I can't remember the title of, but it looked really good.
Let's see. Looking at the list of games coming out in 2016, there's going to be a new Crackdown in 2016. I loved the first Crackdown until they nerfed the 18-wheeler. I was very mad because you could basically just bomb that thing through the highways and level it up like crazy.
Final Fantasy, that's the
Final Fantasy 15.
15.
I'm looking forward to that.
I want to play it.
They've spent over a decade on this game. It's by far the longest they've ever spent on any game. So it better be good, or people will be very upset. There's gonna be a Digimon game. That's kind of neat.
No, it's not.
Fable. I only played part of the first Fable. I gotta get back into that.
What the fuck is the name of that game? Someone.
Mass Effect. Oh, I forgot that the next Mass Effect is coming out. Mirror's Edge.
Oh, there's another Mass Effect. That's cool.
Yep. A new Sonic game. Oh yeah, there's been rumors there's gonna be a Sonic Adventure 3 and a Sonic prequel game coming out in the near future. I don't know what to think about that. I'm getting a little bit concerned.
Battleborn.
Gearbox
is coming out with a. I want to play that. I like Gearbox. I played a lot of the all of the.
I'll admit I'm getting a little.
What's the RPG shooter they keep? I don't know. Come on, man.
XCOM?
No.
I don't know. That's the only RPG shooter I can think of. Fallout? Is Fallout the one you're thinking of?
No, my brain's being retarded.
My hair is everywhere. I don't know why it's. I don't like what it looks like right now, guys. I hate me.
Fuck.
Whatever.
What's the Gearbox first-person RPGs? Come on.
I'll look it up in a second. Sonic Boom 2. Oh, that was announced.
It's
God damn. I'm getting concerned with the fact that most of the games Sonic has put out lately have been what? Like, since Sonic 4, they put out Sonic 4, Sonic Colors, which was supposed to be very good, Sonic 4 again, Sonic Generations, which was another throwback game, so the third throwback game in 4 games. They gave up on their storybook series. They did Sonic Boom, which was to revamp the whole thing, and that got really badly received. Sonic Lost World also got a lot of bad reception. Sonic Boom 2 is coming. And now they're going to do another Sonic Adventure and a game that's before all the other Sonic stuff. Like, for what it's worth, I got to be honest.
Borderlands. Oh my
Borderlands.
God.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Think of the... sorry.
Sonic Team is very, very bad at coming up with villains.
Have they ever come up with a real villain?
Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, but he's like a cartoon.
I thought Chaos was a pretty decent bad guy. It's hard to call it a villain per se, but it was a good bad guy. I heard the TV show for Sonic Boom was actually really good. Toe Jam and Earl. I forgot about that. Back in the Groove is I guess coming up at the end of this year, early next year. That will be excellent. We're going to try to get through the other Toe Jam games before then.
The Toe Jam Let's Play!
The funky Let's Play will continue, I guess. But yeah, Sonic Colors is supposed to be the only really worthwhile Sonic game since they started doing all these weird...
What the fuck is Sonic Colors?
Sonic Colors is one where those little colorful little shiny dudes come from. I forget what console is even for.
I want to start playing games that I know about, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff coming this year. I think it'll be obviously Zelda if it gets finished in time. I'm still on the fence as to whether or not they're going to finish it in time, but we'll see how that goes. With the wave sounds that come out of people's mouths when they try to speak, they struggle with a lot of things, man. Sonic Team has been just an awkward zone for
any kind of dialogue. Yeah.
Sonic Generations good till the final boss. Yeah, that final boss was really fucking hard and not easy to understand what you were doing.
Isn't Sonic Team also like notorious for having horrible camera mechanics?
It's usually not great. I don't remember it ever being like
for a while.
Yeah, probably. I don't remember it being a huge problem in the past, but it doesn't surprise me. Oh yeah, Sonic Unleashed was supposed to be. The half of Sonic Unleashed where you play as Sonic, not as fucking Antonio Banderas. Who played Wolfman? I don't remember who played Wolfman.
Benicio del Toro.
That's the one. The Antonio Banderas for adults.
I guess.
I don't know. Benicio del Toro always seems like he's about to like cut you. I don't know why. He always seems like really intense, even when he's calm. I think Benicio del Toro and Guillermo del Toro should get together for a movie.
They should.
They're not related, but I think they should do it anyway.
Yeah.
They could call it Del Toro and make it about a toreador.
A what?
A toreador.
What's that?
I forget the matador.
So what's a toreador?
Ole.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, I
matador.
think. I think a toreador is the same thing.
Oh.
Or is a toreador the guy who dances with a little...
Let's find out.
Little balaclavas or whatever the hell? That's not the right word either.
Toreador?
I always mix up two balaclava and baklava. One of them is delicious. The other one makes noise. What's a toreador? I think a toreador is also... I think the toreador is also like a song from Carmen or something.
Toreo or bullfighter?
Oh, okay, so toreador is a bullfighter.
Matador redirects here.
Oh, cool. So a matador is a toreador or a torero. I kind of whiffed those R's a little bit. That's okay. Many names for the same thing. 2016 should be a good year.
I hope so. 2015
I will say
was a year.
In 2016, I'm also looking forward to Mega Man Legends. Oh man, we're definitely playing Mega Man Legends in 2016. So that will be a very good time.
I'm gonna play Mega Man Legends. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of that game.
I think it'll be pretty good. Watching it on TV. I watched Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, Jessica Jones is real good.
Awesome, so good. Daredevil is also very, very good.
I finished Daredevil.
Oh, the Toreador is the name of the song that plays at the end when we're losing in Five Nights. When Freddy goes bum bum ba da 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 da.
Okay, cool.
The Toreador March. That sounds right. Yeah.
Cool. Somehow that connected. Weird.
That's weird how that all came back together. I spilled all over myself. I'm a mess tonight. I lost my train of thought. Mega Man Legends will be good.
Yeah.
TV. I'm trying to think if I've watched any other stuff from 2016. We are a Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime family. And as such, I'm going to move the camera back again. There we go. And as such, we do not watch nearly enough actual live, TV as it's happening.
Yeah.
I want to get back into it. One of these days we'll get cable again or something. Put a jump scare in the actual video of the Hangout when the song hits. That's more. So the problem is I don't get a chance to edit these. I don't really. I can trim the intro and the outro, but that's it. I don't get a chance to really add stuff. I could download it, edit it, upload it again, but that's just a whole pile of stuff.
Richard's not a fan.
No. I've evolved past the days of. I've heard Hannibal's very good.
I gotta catch up on Game of Thrones. I haven't watched any of season 5.
I have to get into it in the first place.
Doctor Who, I haven't watched any.
I haven't watched the season at all. We might watch an episode of that tonight. Sarah's coming over later.
I think there's something. I'll hang on and watch some of that. I don't have to go through it tomorrow. I think Sherlock has the BBC Sherlock has a special that just came out or something.
It was their Victorian special.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. That looks fucking real good.
I'm trying to figure out. Oh damn it! I didn't want Hannibal the guy. I was looking for Hannibal the show.
Yeah, he's the guy who played Le Chiffre from.
Yes, Mads Mikkelsen, I believe is his name.
It's a weird name.
It is a very weird name.
What does Mads mean?
I don't know. It could be short for something. The guy who plays Hannibal is actually better Hannibal than the guy from the... Oh, you mean Anthony Hopkins? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's different.
It is different.
Right?
I'm trying to find... there was someone I was looking at recently who was involved with the creation of Hannibal who was having like a weird career until very recently, and I don't know who it was. And it makes me very sad. That's all I have to say about it. I'm sorry. Also, I guess Hannibal is done.
Oh, well, good. I can actually catch up.
It got canceled after 3 seasons because of low ratings. Really, low ratings. Tumblr is, like, obsessed with Hannibal. Like, holy shit.
What network was it on?
NBC.
Not Fox?
No. I know, right? Also, Lawrence Fishburne is in it. I didn't realize that. Interesting. He plays a man named Jack Crawford. I find it humorous that Lawrence Fishburne is in Hannibal, which is based on the same set of books that spawned Manhunter, which was the first Hannibal Lecter-based movie that came out before the Anthony Hopkins ones.
That was based on, or that was very similar to Red Dragon.
It was based on this, yeah. It was Red Dragon. And the good guy from that is the actor who played Gil Grissom on CSI, whose role, when he eventually left the show, was taken over briefly by Marg Helgenberger, and then taken over by Lawrence Fishburne. Cyclical nature. Cyclical nature.
How about that?
Cyclical. It's got cycles and circles. Oh, it does have an ending. Okay, I'm always happy when shows that get canceled have real endings. Fucking hell, Heroes. I haven't watched Heroes Reborn yet. I gotta get on that. I've heard it was kind of disappointing, which is such a fucking shame. But at the same time, too, I think it needed to stay dead the same way, and I will catch shit for this. Firefly must stay dead. It's been 13 years. It's been more than a decade since the movie happened. It has to stay dead. Either A, they have to, if they brought it back, they would have to uncanon Serenity. Nope. Yes, Serenity was the movie. Because just no. But like it's just we're not going to talk about the fact that Ben's gone. I don't know. It seems like it's desperate at this point to bring it back. I think had the show been brought back within like 2 or 3 years as a result of Serenity, I think that would have been fine. But I think at this point, bringing everybody back, it'd be really weird. I don't think it would ever live up to the hype anymore. I don't think it would be able to live up to its own hype. In the same way that Arrested Development kind of didn't really live up to its own thing either. It was a very good season. It was a very different season. Season 4, the one that came out on Netflix. And apparently there is going to be a Season 5 to resolve what started in Season 4. But like, it just feels to me like if Firefly comes back, it's not going to be the same. Because how could it be the same? Because Ben is glaring at me from off camera.
Don't fucking talk shit about Firefly.
I'm not talking shit about Firefly. Firefly was wonderful. My point is that if they brought Firefly back, it could never live up to how good Firefly was.
Don't fucking talk shit about Firefly.
That was the most like inoffensive. I'm gonna knock shit over. I think the comics do a better job of continuing the legacy than bringing back the show would at this point. I don't know. Part of it too is like the mood of certain TV shows don't really match after all that time either. The late 90s, early 2000s had a very different tone than 2016 would, I think, in terms of TV stuff. I don't know. I think I'm not besmirching the good name of Firefly by any means. I think it needs to stay dead because bringing it back would almost certainly reduce the strength of how good that show was. I'm just as offended with the idea of bringing back Breaking Bad. The guy, what's his name? Something. The guy behind Breaking Bad has thought recently about bringing it back and saying, but what if that wasn't the end? And it's like, it's the end. It's over. Leave it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I've offended Ben. I've offended Big Boss. Oh, there you go. Oh, he's covering up the eye of anger. Shit. Indiana Jones, I'm going to be this guy too. Indiana Jones 4, I didn't think was that bad. It was not as good as the first three. It was not as good as the first three by any means. But I think the people who complain about like, oh man, fucking aliens is like, I get it. I get what the complaint is, but it's no further out of a plot point than what the first three were doing. The idea being, here's a mythological thing that people believed in. Now here's a setting in which it was actually real. And the belief setup of the Crystal Skulls is actually a legit thing in South America. It's a further out there, thing to believe in, I guess, but it just, I don't know. I think it was a bad movie. I don't think it was that bad. I think the fridge was stupid. That would have fucking killed him from the impact. I think the monkeys were really ridiculous, especially, what's his name? Mud? Dirt? Whatever the fuck his ground-based name was. Grimer, whatever Grimer did with the monkeys was fucking stupid, swinging like fucking Tarzan. The ants were fucking weird. But at the same time, I couldn't hate it. I don't know why. And I've hated movies before. I've definitely hated movies before. Yeah. I don't think it was as much of a travesty as it's been made out to be. I just don't think it was... I don't think it was a good movie. I just don't think it was, like, fucking the worst, What else can I say to offend everyone today?
I don't know. I gotta pee really bad, though.
Okay, well, why don't we wrap this up? I think it's probably going to come down to an end soon. I have to learn to wait about 30 seconds after we end to close this thing off because the lag... I always assumed that when we hit off on this... that it cuts off the video recording, sends the last 30 seconds of it, and then ends it there. No. As it turns out, when you turn it off, it instantly kills the feed, even though it's
so it
stuck
cuts
behind.
Off delay that
so we get to hang around awkwardly for like 30 seconds at the end. That's gonna be fun.
I'll, stare you down for hating on Firefly and loving Indiana
I didn't
Jones
hate on
4.
Firefly. I'm hating on the idea of bringing it back 13 years later. We are almost twice as old as we were when that show was on the air.
Yeah, I guess they missed the mark.
I think they could have... Anywhere up to about, I want to say, 2009, they probably could have brought it back and have been like, all right, you waited a while, but fair. But
yeah.
I feel like it's been too long at this point. Ironically, now Joss Whedon has all the time and money he ever wants to deal with, so...
I don't want to hear that.
I know.
I want to hear it.
If it's ever going to happen, it's going to happen in the next 3 years. Because Joss Whedon has fucking infinity dollars.
All the people that worked on the show, still, talk to each other. So,
yeah.
I think it could still happen.
It could still happen. It could still happen. I don't think it's likely. I don't even know that I want it to at this point. I feel like it's kind of like digging up the corpse of a loved one to put a fancy hat on it and be like, look, they're alive again. It's like...
You wouldn't do that?
I wouldn't do that.
Be like Weekend at Bernie's, but way better.
Yeah, and way deader. Way deader of a corpse. I don't think people will be as fooled with a skeleton walking around. Send Ben back in time again to make Firefly. That's a possibility. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be it. We're going to try to make sure the next one is within January. We're going to start planning it ahead of time. Figure out, a day that's going to happen.
Big Boy 3, Part 2, 1534.
Oh no! Is that the part where I basically said this is the worst game ever, or something? Or is that the part where I did my demonstration of how short the death things were?
Yelling out horse cocks at the top of your lungs.
Oh, probably me going cocks.
Yeah.
I hope that didn't blow people's eardrums out. I can never tell with this fucking thing. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that'll be it. We'll come back in a couple weeks, probably we'll shoot for the 27th. Let's try to aim for the 27th for the next one, the night of January 27th, and hopefully we'll have some neat stuff to talk to you about then.
We will.
If not then definitely the February one. So we'll see you guys later. Bye. We should leave the frame. Okay. It'll be more meaningful if we leave the frame.
Bye. Goodbye.